Greetings everyone. This is our, a new video. We haven't done one for a long time. With me to my left is Gilles from Venoge, and there's really no better way to start a day, breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, end of a night, and then with a bottle of champagne. Gilles, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
So I think we should go over how to open safely a bottle of champagne.
Exactly.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
I can do it. If
Absolutely.
The idea, it's a lot of people think that it's important to have a lot of noise, but actually it's better not to have too much noise. So the idea, it's to take out the cap of the bottle as clean as you can, and then take out
the top part.
The top part. So then you have to turn this little part 6 times. 1, 2, 3.
Notice his thumb.
4, 5, 6.
Someone's face is not over it.
Exactly.
His thumb's over the top of it. You could also put a napkin over it, just for added protection.
Yeah. And then you take back. You let the capsule on it, and then you take the bottle, and it's not the cork which turns; it's the bottle.
Bottom.
You turn the bottle.
Slowly.
Slowly, and then
you're going to hear a. There you go.
And that's it. And you don't keep. A lot of people keep the cork because they think it's going to stop the champagne. If the champagne touches the cork, it will move out even faster.
Even faster.
So the idea is to remove the cork, even if the bottle was shaken or a little bit hot. If the bottle is too hot, the champagne will go out. If you keep the cork on it, it will be even worse. That
was absolutely perfect. But the key is your thumb over the top or something, and away from kids, people, valuables, urns, things of that nature. Okay, what are we tasting today?
Today we are tasting the Brut Cordon Bleu, which is a Brut multi-vintage from the house of Venoge. It's a blend of the 3 grapes varietal in Champagne, 50% Pinot Noir, 25% Chardonnay and 25% Pinot Meunier, which is also a red grape, because Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier are red grapes with a white juice, so that's why Champagne is white. And the minimum aging on the Cordon Bleu is 3 years, when the legal aging on the non-vintage is 15 months.
15 months.
We keep it minimum of 3 years, and in all of our Champagne we use only the first pressing, which is very important, because the first pressing of the grapes is a beige juice. You won't have, too much green acidity, and you just get the beige juice. So instead of using 1.2 kilogram of grapes, we use 1.5 kilogram of grapes to make 1 bottle of champagne.
Wow, that's a lot.
Which is,
huge.
When you know that the price of the grape is the most expensive in the world, it's a big investment.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's try some. Now, does Venoge own and purchase their own?
The group, Venoge belongs to a group called Lançon Boiselle Chanoine,
okay,
which own more than 100 hectares. And out of that, Venoge used 20 hectares for its production, and the rest is coming from contracts that we have with wine growers for sometimes 5 generations.
Okay.
So it's very much like this in Champagne. The negotiants don't own their vineyards. They own a little part, but they use a lot of wine growers that we work for a long time with.
Very cool. Now, what I've learned over the years is every champagne producer or grower or negotiant has their house style.
Yeah.
It's toasty, it's leesy, it's yeasty, it's vanilla. What would you classify Venoge's house style?
House style, in Champagne house will be also with the grapes you use. Either you are Chardonnay style or more Pinot Noir style. Actually, Venoge is difficult to classify because we also produce a Blanc de Noir, which is fantastic, and we produce a Chardonnay, which won 5 star in the last decanter, or 96 points in One Spectator. So I would say the style of Venoge is making winey champagne, but still fresh and elegant.
You said winey champagne. It's interesting you said that. So treating it like a Grand Cru Burgundy, but with bubbles in it.
Yeah, exactly. What we said, the Venoge, and I think we are one of the only ones to say that. Before making a good champagne, you need to make a good wine.
Absolutely.
And if the wine is good, then the sparkling will be fantastic.
It should come along.
And but a lot of people don't think champagne as a wine, and it is really a wine, and we want people to be able to taste wine in it.
Absolutely, not just this mousse on your palate and bubbles. Exactly. So look at the color on this. It's got a nice golden color. I don't think it's the lights really changing it.
Yeah, it's more gold because of the grapes. It's 75%. Sorry, 75% red grapes. So that's why the color is a little bit gold.
Is there any oak aging in this? Like in
Not
some?
at all.
None.
Not at all.
Okay.
The only wood that this wine I've seen is the pal that move. You know, the wine.
Yes.
It's in wood.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
That's it.
So it's got a little toasty, leesy note.
Yeah.
Really ultra refreshing.
Yeah.
On the palate, some champagnes get really woody and fatiguing and bland. This stays lively all through the palate. It's really quite enjoyable. Jack, I haven't had this for quite a while. It's really good. It's a good way to.
And
I should
also
start my
the
days like this
Chardonnay,
all
you
the
know,
time.
the 25% Chardonnay is coming out also.
Yeah.
On the nose is really, you can see it's more Pinot Noir, but in the mouth the Chardonnay, the toastiness of the Chardonnay is coming out.
So in your travels, what's the biggest misconception people have with champagne? I mean, what do you know that they go, oh, I didn't know that. What would be the?
I don't really see any misperception.
No?
Really.
None?
People know the idea. Yeah, maybe it's people think they have to drink champagne only in a great occasion.
So that was where I was going. That's what I was looking for.
Because the idea, you know, it's true that people think it's, you know, for a birthday, anniversary, or a wedding, but as champagne, if you take champagne as a wine, you can drink it for a meal, and that's why at the Venoge we produce almost all the styles that you can produce in champagne. We produce 10 different champagne, coming to the Blanc de Noir, then Extra Brut, and a dry, a little bit more dosage, and it's something that you can drink for a meal or any occasion.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, people always think, you know, you need to have it's a birthday, graduation, winning the lottery, which definitely you can afford by champagne. But it works with everything. And I've experienced this myself, where, you know, you've had it for lunch, I've had it for, well, it's 10 in the morning now, it's tasting pretty good now.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, of course, prior to dinner. De Venoge, are you moving to organically farmed or more sustainable?
More and more.
More and more?
First of all, we were, the group, l'Ensemble Bassetiere, were the first to use lighter bottles.
Okay.
Which is very important because it's producing less CO2.
Okay.
And also for recycling is easier. And but more and more, and the group just bought 13 hectares of vineyards, which is 100% organically farmed, which is very rare. And the group will found the first organic brand of champagne.
Really?
Which will be launched next year. So it's very important for us to go more and more in the you know, more organic way.
I think the quality will improve too.
The quality will improve, and people, you know, in Champagne are very, very much into it, and that's something which will be more important in the future.
Very cool. Now, one other thing that we're going to talk about a champagne is people don't know this could be a blend of 4 or 5 different vintages just to get consistency year after year. Explain that, because they pick these grapes really early, keep the acidity, keep it fresh, and to be a champagne taster and a blender is it's easier chewing thumbtacks, honestly, because you're tasting such acidic wine, such base wine in such a raw form. So tell us why you have 3 or 4 or 5 vintages in, and how the blender does that, because it's really quite fascinating.
The idea when you buy a bottle of Cordon Bleu de Venoge is for you to be able to find almost the same wine every time you open your bottle. So the idea for this bottle in particular, the base year it's 2007, which means that 80% of the wine in this bottle come from the vintage 2007. 10% come from the previous assemblage of Cordon Bleu, which was the base 2006, with 20% reserve wine from the 2 previous years. Every time, so 2007 80%, 10% of 2006 and 10% of 2005 assemblage of Cordon Bleu. So it means at least you have 3 different years, even more, because in the assemblage of 2005 you have 10% of 2004 and 10%.
Okay.
So it make it consistent. Even if it's only 20%,
Got it.
it make a consistent style, and also, of course, the village that we put in it, it's almost always the same villages.
Yeah. That's what people want is it's celebratory.
Yeah.
So they want it to be the same. They understand with red and white wines, they get vintage specific, but with champagne, they don't want a mistake to happen.
Exactly.
You know, if they have their family over or guests, they want to make sure that it's the same all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, the most important in champagne is the assemblage, because for this wine we have 40 different villages. So every grapes from these villages will bring a certain style to the blend. And if you add all those villages, you will add the quality of it.
Right.
And it's very funny to see when after the blending, when you do the blending, the quality had, and that's what makes champagne different.
It's interesting because the blender, I mean, you just can't knock on the door, say, I'm going to make champagne. You have to apprentice for 5 or 10 years. Even more to understand the villages.
I will tell you a little bit story, a funny story. When Venoge was part of the Groupe Rémy Cointreau, the winemaker was Daniel Thibault. He has been best winemaker for 10 years in a row, a very good winemaker. And one day someone came to him and said, I would like to make my own brand of champagne. I have the best sommelier in France. He will make the assemblage, and so why not? So the guy came. Daniel Thibault prepared 60 different bottles of vin clair.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, now I let you work. I come back in 2 or 3 hours and, to see what you've done. So the guy didn't know what to do. He tried everything. At the end, so he made a blend, and Daniel Thibault did not even try the blend of the guy, because he knew that it was. And a few years later, he see Daniel Thibault again, and he said to him, I have to tell you, I was very lucky with the blend I've done, because I didn't know what I was doing. And Daniel Thibault said, oh, I have to tell you something. It was not the blend you did that you bought.
You have to fix it.
So that's the story to tell how difficult it is. When I arrived in Champagne 15 years ago, when I was trying vin clair, the winemaker was making a lot of fun, because he was making me try and say, which one do you prefer? Oh, I prefer this one, this one. Okay. It was the less. It was not the Grand Cru that I picked.
Yeah.
It was the lower vineyards, because it was easier to drink.
Yeah.
But the Grand Cru is completely closed. You don't see anything. It's only acidity. And,
you have to see beyond that acidity. Oh, it's like tasting lemon juice reduced to the and vinegar. They're so hard to taste. Yeah. Well, on that note, Venoge, give it a shot. I think you're going to like it. Luc, thanks for coming in. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here.